We, as in the modern world, at least I'd say in the West, buy things with the intent to replace them eventually. Most things aren't meant to last. We are meant to replace it with an upgrade, whereas those before us in the past often took care of things for generations because they had far less and had to take care of things, so they had things. They needed stuff, so they took care of them a lot better. While in the anime, we went Tsukumogami, I believe shows us why we should take care of our things better. And I'm going to explain why in this video. First though, I'm Anime Lore and I make videos on anime and history. Rewent Tsukumogami is an anime made by Studio Telecom Animation Film, who also made Crunchyroll's more recent Tower of God. The anime is based on the novel by Kadokawa Shoten. The story follows two foster siblings who run a rental shop, which to be fair might be close to maybe a pawn shop, though not exact as I don't think we have a close example in today's world. The shop is able to exist due to individuals of the time not owning many things due to the large amount of fires Edo experienced during this period. As part of their collection of items, the shop is home to several Tsukumogami, which are household objects in Japanese myth which have been possessed by a spirit or kami, effectively meaning the object is alive for the most part. For an object to become a Tsukumogami, they must become extremely well taken care of by a past owner. These Tsukumogami love gossip, which is used by the siblings to use the Tsukumogami to gather information as a really old-fashioned form of listening devices to help various people who also later become friends of theirs. For starters, I should explain what type of items of the modern day and the Edo era Japan I'd be talking about, which helpfully for the Edo side of things is also explained in the anime, so if you don't know what it is, odds are the anime will explain it. If not, there's always Google. In the anime, they have many different types of Tsukumogami. A Netsuke, which is most similar to a modern day keychain, a standing doll, which today probably would just be maybe a little normal to have as a decoration. A moon wall scroll, which is pretty similar to paintings, purses, and other things people hang on their walls. Just quickly mention some other things I remember seeing: a smoking pipe, a flask, a wallet, an incense burner, a comb, and probably moving more to the legend side rather than the show itself. Umbrellas and plenty other household items of the time could probably qualify as a Tsukumogami or yokai, something like that. One piece of context which could be useful to know more about, as I briefly mentioned earlier though, during the Edo era, according to the show, many people, especially the lower classes, didn't own many things, personally due to the commonality of fires. That seems to me likely, as I know Tokyo did have major issues with fires later on, famous World War II Tokyo firebombing and all that. How does this probably affect things? Well, I would just generally say people might tend to take better care of things if they only own a few items, though I'll admit it may be the opposite, with objects being difficult to guarantee a longer life. But I think most would take care of things decently well, as even with the risk of fire, they would have so little that it would be better to make them last longer, and thus, rather than on the off chance there's fire, they justified not taking care of them, but if there isn't a fire, they save the little money they probably have by not having to replace it. Even still, items, especially well cared for, would still be noticeable and not be hugely normal even then, and would be appreciated for their quality. In the modern day, we do keep very different things. The most major, of course, is what I wrote this script on and recorded on my laptop, or more broadly, electronics. TVs, game systems, phones, tablets, computers, and plenty more. These do last several years, even up to more than a decade if taken care of. However, the market is largely made for you to upgrade them due to an ever-increasing demand for better systems to run newer software, games, and movies. Of course, you probably know that. Aside from electronics, we do also have plenty of small, easily replaced items, such as keychains, again, pencils, pens, umbrellas, paper, silverware, paper tableware, as well as storage bags. I'm also certainly not saying these easily disposable things deserve to be taken care of, Most of these are again designed cheaply and are not very good to begin with, but all of which do have better options which can be worth maintaining longer than the cheap option. So now that I've gone over what items I'm roughly talking about, I'll start discussing why we should take care of them better. And of course, why I do of course mean me as well. The first I'd mention might be obvious, but that is simply to have them last longer. Things which last longer will tend to save us money, and we will be able to gain more value from them the longer we possess them. As part of that, we should understand we don't always have to upgrade to the next best thing, and that we can make do with the old generation for much longer. As the longer we wait, the cheaper the new item likely ends up becoming, and the more value we will get from the old generation. If we want our things to last longer, though, we do need to take care not to buy super cheap items, which will tend to cost more in the long run, as they simply don't last long, even if you do take care of them, and instead we get slightly better items which will last a bit longer. For them to last longer, we, including me, should take care to clean and repair them if needed, as well as not to put undue stress in whatever it is. But there are some reasons than just material benefits in terms of saving money in exchange for some time. In other words, there are other reasons to take care of our things. As most of the items in the anime are rented out, most of the borrowers will take care of them for different reasons, but mainly because it's not theirs, and they will take care of them not to damage the item, so as not only to show respect to the owners, as well as not to incur financial responsibilities of the item should they have to replace them or repair it. Just good manners, really. The owners, however, seem to take very good care of the items, most of which seems to be several years old to a few decades old. They, of course, do have the material motivation to do so, as the longer they can use items and the better they look, the more customers they will have, and the more they will be able to serve for less money. Probably the most common reason why items are well taken care of, I'd say, is because they have sentimental value. In other words, the item's value is not determined by what it is or by its market value, but by something else, such as who gave it to them or who the previous owners were, or any reason really. Such items could be a gift from a past grandparent or an item received from a teacher or friend important to the person. These items are rare, but we want to take care of them because of the emotional weight they have on us, even if the item itself isn't valuable. This isn't to say they're negative at all. We take care of them because they remind us of the people we care about, and those who were dear to us and those we maybe have lost. The anime doesn't go too heavy into it, however, some of the items which could be said to have sentimental value in the anime are a wallet given to one of the characters mid-season, which had been given to him as a gift from their mentor, which he loses and has to try to get it back, and the main characters help him get it back. One example really also could be the Netsuke, which the samurai character introduced in the first episode had lost, and said item was a family possession he was given as part of him marrying into said family. The incense burner, which the two main characters are looking for throughout the season, also can be said to have some sentimental value, though why, I guess, probably would be spoilers, so I won't actually go into detail there. The last reason why I think we should take care of things are to allow the next generation to use them, which I'll admit is hard when so much of our things today, again, are meant to be replaced. But I think it's important that we take care to ensure that we leave something which probably was important to us in some way, some sentimental item, which we could allow another generation to enjoy. A simple explanation is the best way to care for things when no longer we need them or have grown past needing them is to let someone else have them who will appreciate and care for them and take possession of them. In the anime, this can be really seen later when the pair encounter a samurai whose daughter had lost a comb he had bought for her, and because he saw the comb the main character's own and thought she'd like it, he attempted to buy it, but he gave up in the end. However, I think when you connect that moment to an earlier moment When the same Tsukumogami comb helped bring a mother and daughter back together, it would have been fitting to allow the Tsukumogami comb to fulfill its purpose for this little girl and hopefully bring joy to another owner, thus another generation. I hope I convinced you and maybe myself to take care of our things better. And if not, that's okay too. Everyone's free to do what they want with their own things. But anyway, I've been Anime Lover, and if you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. It helped me out a lot.